Hi viewers, and today we're going to be looking at Python. And I don't know if you noticed, but in some of these workbenches, such as the Path Workbench, there is very limited Python capabilities, or once there are, it goes so far, but you can't do certain things. For example, if I created a part design, I actually created a part in here, so new body, create a sketch. I'm going to create a very simple part in here, and all it's going to consist of is a pad there. Pad that up, okay, that, and literally on that face I'm going to put a pocket, and this pocket is what I'm going to want to machine out, so something like that. Just like to machine out to add a face to. There we go. So close that, and also pocket that. That's good. Got this shape here. So if you jump over to the Path Workbench, and what I want to show you is if we had the view panels, and we're going to need the Python console for this. You can see how Python's been building up down here, and obviously part design is quite in depth, in that anything you do in here. So I'm padding this by, instead of 10 mil, I'll pad this by something like 12 millimeters. Hit OK, and then you get all these pads. Pad offset, pad type. Oops, scroll up. Keep forgetting can't use the arrow keys in there. Last one. So here we go. Pad length 2, etc., etc. But when you get to such places as, where's my pocket gone? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. When you get to such places as the path, where we want to do some machining on this, and I'm going to create a new job for the CNC machine. Okay, that, and we start getting some path commands starting in here. But if we okay that, you can see not much is actually happening down here. So if I put a path drilling object, or let's put a pocket in one, let's make sure that's right. So in here I can see import path scripts, path job. I want to climb conventional, I want to do a zigzag offset, I want to have 10 degrees instead of 45, and I okay that. Well, nothing's happened, and that makes it pretty hard to actually write a macro around this, unless you go into get deep down and dirty with the actual components actually in Freecad. So all these components actually can be accessed, and you can simulate button clicks in here and changes of, say, on our job we had the operation, the pocket shape. We can actually change this. Let's pick one that's got something in. Change one of these drop downs to like the first one in the list, or the second one in the list, or change the angle by actually accessing the GUI's spin edits and edit boxes of the Qt GUI interface, and actually jumping into there and actually changing those. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So I've got this path up, and I'm going to actually remove this path operation. So I'm going to remove that pocket shape. Just okay that. You can see nothing's come up. So let's get rid of that pocket shape there. And I'm going to leave this open, and I'm going to start a new macro. So I've been playing with this. you can see that I've got a get combi view window there that I've been playing with. I'm going to start from scratch because I did a lot of research and a lot of playing about for a couple of hours and finally got there. So let's create a macro. What should we call it? I'm going to call this just path ops. There we go, path ops. So I want to have to select that, and then when I run my macro, it will actually click on the create a pocket object. Let's clear this out. Create a path pocket object from the face, which you can see nothing's happened. So I've got to click on that button somehow and then add all this detail. So I'm going to leave this open. So I'm pretending I've gone that far, and we'll come back to that in a moment. So I've got the path ops macro open, and good thing about this is that this GUI is accessible via the Python, the really fantastic Python API that comes with Freecad. I can't fault this. This is one thing that the developers have added to it. Makes life so much more interesting of actually doing these operations, because we can actually create workflows. So you can actually program a workbench for someone and to allow for their physical workflow through their company of what they actually do for their models. And there is companies, I've seen companies, follow someone on Twitter, I forget who they're called, but they actually do sell these workflows or consult with these workflows and help you actually create these. So we're going to do a small, well, not a workflow or a macro through this. So thing is that we need to first import our library. So we need to have the PySide library in here, and with that we're going to import star. So we're importing everything from the PySide Qt GUI. So all this is made with the Qt GUI. So that's, we first have to import the library so we can access the page. Now I'm going to set up a variable called main window. Now that can be called anything you want, so don't think that's command, that's just some variable called main window. Now there is something in Freecad called Freecad Gui, which is the actual Freecad GUI, and it's accessible. And if we do get main window on that, then that actually will pull back our main window that we're actually working on. And all the time I'm doing this, I'm laying down these commands, I'm going to actually show you the output. So app.console, make sure I'm in the right language, console, I've just stopped work so I'm in JavaScript mode, that's C mode, print, can't even spell, message, oh come on, there we go, print message, and we're just going to output that main window. Console.print message main window. So we've got our down here, and we've got a bit of error down here, but get the report view up so we can see what we're actually doing. So we got from PySide, let's give that a capital letter. There we go. Right, okay, let's clear that out. So so it's got the Q main window, so that's a Qt widget. So we're using the Qt or Qt, it's pronounced Qt environment with this, what this is built in. So we've got the main window of Freecad, which is a good start. Now we need to actually find all the components in here. So all the components in here are known as widgets. And the main window has a number of widgets attached to it. It has dock widgets and toolbar widgets and menu widgets, etc., etc. And those things that are attached to it are called children. So we can actually get those children. So widgets. So this is a variable called widgets, which I'm pulling all the widgets out. Call it whatever you want. Equals our main window. and then we can use the command in here, find children. Now that takes a parameter, and I'm going to pass in QWidget. So I want to pull every single thing from the actual environment, the main window, that is a QWidget. Now buttons are QWidgets, taskbars are QWidget, progress bars, status bars are all QWidgets. So a button inherits the QWidget, a window inherits a QWidget. So that's a top level. So everything should come back. So when we run that, let's output something first. Let's take that line, and I'm going to output the widgets in there, like so. And when we execute that, what we should get back is, see it's cut off down here. It's actually stopped because there's too much for the buffer. You can see it starts with a square bracket. So square bracket denotes it's a collection, it's a list, also known as an array, as an array in other languages. So we've got a collection of widgets here, and they've got a comment by the side of them. Don't get confused about this. This is just a memory address that we don't have to worry about. It's more the Q, where it's got PySide qt widgets .qmid area, stuff like this. .q widgets. It's always PySide2.qt widgets, and then dot something after it. So you can see that these are all sub objects of Qt widget in the inheritance of that. So Q MDI sub window. So those are pulled back. So that's a collection. Okay. If we wanted to, we could, instead of pulling back just Q widgets, we could just pull back Q push buttons. Q push button in there. So let's clear that out, and that should get all the buttons. There we go. So you can see that they're all Q push buttons, and all of these I can actually run, pick any one of these and run the .click command on there, or get the text, or with those, just by assigning one of these buttons up to a variable and actually just using .click on it will actually click the button. So this is the kind of process that we want to do. Now I'm going to actually find out what we want to know, what widgets are being used in here, because I want to come in here and pull, my aim is to actually change the cut mode. So let's put some notes down what we want to do. So this is just a rem mark. So I want to change the cut mode. Let's change the pattern. So I want to change the pattern to zigzag offset. We'll change that to that, and we're going to also change the angle to, I don't know, 10 degrees. And while we're there, I'm looking at the different objects on here, so I can give you a range of objects to actually do this with. So we're going to also, we're using a combo selector there to actually select, got an angle there, which is, and it's just text. Then we've got a spin, something called a spin edit here as well. So the step over percent. So we're going to change the step over percent as well, and say it to 50. And notice there's some checkboxes down here, and we're going to actually check the use outline. Now, is there anything in here I want to do? We could change the finish depth if we want. I think actually that's all we'll do. And then we're going to hit the OK button. Put K in with checkbox, that'd be a good idea. And then hit OK button. So those are the tasks that we want to do. Okay, so we've got a bit of a plan there. Now I'm going to change this back to Q push button. I'm going to change this back to Q widget. So I'm pulling all the Q widgets, and we're consoling out all the Q widgets. Now I'm going to show you how to actually access these Q widgets. we can access them with a for loop, so for, and then use any variable you want. So I'm going to use w, yeah. So for w, and then we say for w in widgets, put a colon, and anything after this gets run in this loop. So what we're saying is that we pulled out the widgets. Remember before that the widgets was a collection. Now collections you can iterate over, so you can loop through them because they're collections. So when we do for w in widgets, what we're saying is that for every single widget that's in there, we assign it to w, and then we do something with it, and then we keep on going on and on and on until we actually run out. This is what this for loop is doing. And what I'm just going to do is @console print message, and I'm going to output w. So running this, we should get something very similar to what we had before. That's taken a long time. There we go. So that's gone through every single widget there and pulled them in. And you can see we've got loads of Q buttons, and we've got loads of Q label, Q line edit, Q label, Q scroll bar. I'm getting an idea of what we've actually got in there. And all I'm doing is just showing you what's in there at the moment. So what I want to do now is actually just get an idea of what we've got in this screen, what's being used. Because there's too much junk here. There's just way too much junk, and it runs out. We start running out of space in our buffer to actually display this all. So with this, we can actually display the type. So we can actually get rid of all this gumph and just display the type. So I'm going to call this widget collection. I'm going to go equals and open close square bracket. So we've actually created a collection. We've created a list. Remember what I was saying before about the square brackets? So we've got the collection. Come in here. W in widget, so we're still going through this. So this is all the children in here. And what we're going to do is just add that to our collection. But we need to first say if it's in there, so we take out the duplicates. I want to first take the widget, and I'm going to say widget type equals type w. So I've pulled in the type there, and I'm going to add that to my collection. So I need to say if, because we don't want to add duplicates, otherwise we're back to square one. Widget type, and then you can, with this you can actually use not in here. So we're saying we've got for, we can use also if it's can use in. So what we're saying is the widget type not in the widget collection, which first time around it won't be, so it will actually be added. Okay, colon, so anything in here will actually be displayed. So what I'm going to do is add the widget to the collection. So widget collection dot append, so appends it to the collection, and we need something to put in there, which is our widget type. And we're not going to actually loop through this collection, we're just using it as a holding place. So now I can, because I'm still in the if, I'm saying, well, it's not in our widget collection, so I want to display it. So let's display the actual widget type. And what this does is it should give us a nice cut down view of what on earth is going on down here. Widget collection is not defined. Widget. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Let's change the I to an E. Widget. There we go. Always helps you spell it properly. Let's clear that. So there we go. So we've got all the widgets there. Let's make this a bit nicer. So app.console to print message, and I'm going to convert that to a string. And the reason why I'm doing that is that I want to append on the end a new line character. What that does, it makes everything go on a new line. There we go. So already this is looking a bit neater, and we can see literally what we've got in here. And I'm just going to copy this into some notes. So let's put some notes up on the screen so we can actually see what we've got. So we've got Q mid-arrow, Q widget, which is that's interesting. Okay, we've got scroll areas, we've got abstract buttons, we've got labels, we've got progress bar, text edit, which we need to actually probably use, combo boxes, which we'll learn how to access, tab widget, which is handy to know, and we have also a dock widget somewhere. I've just seen it there, a dock widget. Now this is one of the important ones, so come back. So I found out all basically what Freecad is using, all the separate widgets so Freecad is using. That's important because we need to actually use that to figure out what's on screen. So I don't need this anymore. I've got what I need. I don't need that widget collection anymore. Might need this. If we look at this screen, what's happening is that we've got a number of these things in here. This report view, this Python console, and this combi view are actually Q.dot widgets because they're dockable. Inside that this Q.dot widget, we've got tabs, and inside that tab you've got children as well. So you could start from the beginning like we did and go through everything that's in this screen by just going to the main window, find children, and finding what you want and accessing that. But we don't want to. We want to narrow it down to make it a lot more faster. So what we do is, if we come in here, so we've got our widgets main window, find children Q widget. That's finding all the widgets. We want the dock widget. So if I put in here, and let's go back to the list, Q.dot widget, that's one we want. So Q.dot widget. So grab all those out and then just do an application, wrong programming language, app.console.print message, and like widgets, we should get all the dot widgets. Let's just change that to capital M and clear this, run it, and you can see we've got a collection here, and we've got tree view, we've got property view, we've got combo view, which we want. We've got Python console, so there's a Python console, there's a combo view, we've got the property view and tree view, which are not displayed on screen, but you can actually find those in the panels. So those aren't visible, so these have all probably got a property called is visible, and it actually shows whether they're visible or not, but they're still sitting in the GUI. So that's great. So from that, I actually want the combo view because I want to access this combo view, and we can do that by using the find children, but there's one called find child. So it finds a single child, and what you give it is a type and the actual name. So I want the name of combo view there. So let's grab that. And now when we output, clear that, output that, we get a single widget, which is the combo view. So now all our widgets, well, our widget is a single widget of the combo view. So I'm going to name this combo view. There we go. So we've got the combo view. Now, if we look in the combo view, and find all the children, so find children, and use Q widget in here, we can see that when we output this, so widgets, you'll be able to see that actually in there we have a number of widgets. It's cut off there. So these are everything that's actually in this widget. So we've got scroll bars, etc, etc, etc in there. So now we've got our combo view. Then we can actually go off and find the stuff that we need. So let's take the first one. So I want pattern. These are Q combo boxes. So we've got a combo view which we pulled in. So I'm going to go combo view dot find children, and I'll find all the Q. So finding the children of that type, Q combo dot box, and we need to actually assign that to something. So combo boxes equals, and then we can output that. And you can see we've got a number of combo boxes here. So we've got the tool control, which is this one, the boundary shape, which is somewhere, the cut mode, which is this one, and the offset pattern, which is the one we need. So we can use that and actually now pull in that offset pattern as and assign it to a variable. So I'm going to come in here, get rid of that because I don't need that anymore. I'll just run that out because I don't want to keep on writing that. So I'm going to say our offset pattern equals the combo view dot find child. So we're finding one child of a type combo box, comma, and then give it its name. So it's the same as we're doing up here, and the name was offset pattern. So that's signed that up. So now I can actually get the value from this combo box. Now I can consult the manuals because they're on the web for Python Qt, quite easy to find. So to set it, I will use offset pattern dot set current index, and then I'll pass it the index that I want to set. So these all have indexes, the drop downs. So pattern, we'll start from 0, 0, so the 0 base index, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Place that in there. So set current index. Now if I run that, let's clear this out. Watch the index down here. See, that's changed. So that's actually changed that to the correct index that we want. And this is the process. If we haven't got any ways of actually, you can see down here the Python console. Even when I change this, sorry, the wrong one, change this, nothing happens down here, but I can create a bit of Python to actually change that index. So that's great. So we've set the first one, so we can get this one, rid of this one. And the next one is change angle to 10. So first we've got to find it. I think these are edit boxes. So let's have a look at our list. So we've got a Q line edit, so that's what it would be. So the Q line edit, so let's grab that. So cut angle equals, well actually we need to actually go and find the all the Q line edits and have a look, see what they are. So add.console.print message, and we need the combo. We've still got this combo boxes in here, so let's bring this down. Don't need that anymore either. And we're just going to call this line edits. So combo view, which is this one, and combo view dot find children, and we'll use Q line edit in here. And we'll output line edits. I just changed the name of the actual variable. You can do whatever you want there. So that's output that. So we've got all the line edits now, and I think I've just put my cursor over the exact one we want. Zigzag angle. I guess in this one, so I wonder if we change this, whether this gets grayed out. Let's have a look. Offset. Yeah, so that gets grayed out depending on what pattern you use. So if I go spiral, that's not going to go there. So zigzag offset. So that is one. So zigzag angle. And we've got our line edits, so we know that. Change this. So zigzag angle. Combo view show, instead of show find the children, we're using find child. We want the Q line edit, and also we want the zigzag angle. So now we should actually have got that zigzag angle edit box. So let's run that and see what we get. Let's come up down here. We've picked that up. Pick that one up, name zigzag angle. I want to change this to, I'm going to take a copy of what's in this. So let's grab that. So 45, and I've got the degree text there, and with the character, and we'll change it to 15 degrees, something like that. Or what was it? We wanted to change the angle to 10. Let's change it to 10. So that will be our value, what we're changing it to. Let's put that down there. So I know for the Q line edits there is actually a command called Settext, and it'll be in the manuals as well. So zigzag angle dot settext, and then we're going to change it to 10, like so. Make sure that this settext is in quotes, and run that. That's got an angle of 10. So both of those now are changing. There we go, zigzag offset, angle 10. Now the other ones we wanted to do were, let's get rid of that, change the step over to 50%. So this one is, as you can see, it's a spin edit there. So we need to actually change that. So let's have a look for the spin edits. So using arbitrary variable there, equals, copy that, combo view to find children, and we're looking for what we're looking for. Let's have a look at our list. Now we've got this is a good thing with the list, so we can come in here. Now I would have thought it was called a spin box, Q spin box there, but we've also got a Q abstract spin box. So let's have a look at what we've got in spin box first. Let's find all the Q spin boxes and output them with .console to print message to the screen and see what we get. Here we go. So we only got one. Step over %. Well, that'll do. So what is a Q abstract spin box? What do we get? We'll get a lot more. A hell of a lot more. And that's interesting. So we've got step down, finish depth. So we've got all of those and step over %. So you can see that the Q abstract spin box has got Q spin box as well. So I'm going to actually keep with Q abstract spin box because there's a lot more in there, and it might get confusing if we start swapping horses midstream if we're doing spin box and Q abstract spin boxes, because really most of them are there, and that can actually be accessed via one. So I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. But what I do want is the find children. So I'm going to say my step over % equals the combo view dot find children, find child, and we want the Q abstract spin box in there. And also we want the name of the actual object we're after, which is that one. So that should pull back what we need. So look, step over %, spin edit, step over %, clear this, so we should just get the one. There we go, so we've got the step over % there. And what I'm going to do in here, we can actually get the value from this by just put in dot value, and that should actually print what's actually in there. So it's printing 70 down there, it's put 70 on the end there, so that's good. At the moment it's 70, which it is, so we should be able to set the value. So let's just grab that, put that down here, and so the value, just put set value, and in the brackets, what's our value we want? Our value is change step over % to 50. So we can just change it to 50. And because it's a spin edit, it only takes integer values or numeric values, so we can put 50 in there. So let's see if that works. So step over % 70. So I'll run it. All we should get is 50, and 50 comes out on the bottom as well. So that's good. So let's get, I'm going to leave that in there actually. I'm going to be using that later. And the last one, no, the actual, almost the last one, check the use of the outline checkbox. So we want to actually check this. I'm going to come in here and actually find that checkbox, and we'll go back to our list. We have got a, it's probably Q checkbox, combo box, Q checkbox there, Q checkbox. So we do the same again, and we want to find all the checkboxes. So let's find those checkboxes. Let's use this one. CBs, find children, on the combo view Q check box, and we'll output that in here. Get rid of that. So add to console to print all the CBs, and we've got a mini travel, we've got a use outline. We should have a use start point as well, so that's good. So our use outline is now going to equal the find child of use outline. So let's pull that in. So useoutline.com, I've got sort of find child for now, Guibots to use outline. So we just see if we got it. There we go, so we got that. And now we want to actually find out if it's checked or not. So we just do a quick check to see if it's checked. If use outline dot is checked, let's say equals false. So we're testing, we're saying, is the outline checked? No. Then we'll come in here, use outline dot set checked, and in here we want true, like so. So when we run that, that's been checked now. So we've got everything that we need. Don't need, yeah, we do need that. Zigzag set text, use outline, and don't need these app messages. Last thing we need is the hit button. So we need to hit that OK button. So all's working fine. So let's see if we can actually find that button. And saying I don't need that, but I actually do need that. So the button, it's going to get all the buttons. So btns equals combo view dot find children, and then we want the Q push button. So that should give us all the Q push buttons. Let's just put a capital V in there. There we go. So there's all the Q push buttons. So we've got, that's handy. They haven't got any names. That shouldn't be a problem. So we're going to have to do a bit more investigation work in here. So that's all right. So we've got all the buttons, and I'm going to say, I'm going to actually loop through this. So for B in buttons, and I'm going to use that, which changes to B. And if we run this now, let's stick a nice new line character on this as well. So str surround B with that plus the new line character. There we go. And clear that. And that should give us an idea of all the buttons we got. So we've got a number of buttons there, and then we've got clear base, delete base, and add base. Now those are base geometries ones. Yeah, there we go. Add, remove, and clear. Those are there, and then we've got our free there. Now normally they come as they are laid on the screen. So apply, cancel, and OK. What I'm going to do is find the text of these as well. So let's do the same. Add-on print B plus B dot text plus that. And what we should see is we've got OK, cancel, and apply. So we can actually see those two. So they didn't run in the correct order. So they've actually run, well, they've run in the reverse order there. So that was a good check. So we've added the b.text. So we've got strb to actually pull those in. convert them to a string. So it's converted all these to a string. Then we've appended b.text on the end. So we know the first button in that lot, in the buttons, is the one we need. So and down here, buttons 0, and we can use .clicked. We've done that one. Hit the OK button. Hopefully this will work. We've got .clicked there. Let's try click a minute. So it's not clicked. Is that disappears. We've got our pocket operation in here. Let's double click that. We've got climb, which we didn't set. Zigzag 10, 50. Step over was 50. We didn't do a parsing, but we did click this use outline. So that's actually worked. So we can actually use that to create a macro. So if we get rid of that operation in there now, so let's just delete that out and run that again. So we've gone in here and we've got our job, we've clicked on this, and we need to add this to the macro as well. And the actual clicking of the face, I've actually covered previous macro I did. We're actually selecting a face by depth in there, so we can actually use that one in there. So let's run the thing, and it's created the macros run, and the pocket shape has been created with all the necessary parameters in there. So that's a good start. So I can actually use that now. So I'm wondering what else workbenches don't allow for. So look at the tech drawer. I'm just wondering what other workbenches don't allow for the Python console items to come up. So let's go insert new default page. Now that's looking like it's working. Pocket, macro, tech drawer, insert view. So that's actually, yeah, so that's actually doing that. What else have we got? Must be others where the macros don't actually work on there, but this kind of thing you can use from the other workbenches, and it's just coming into here and figuring out where the things are and writing a bit of code like this, as we did, and just figuring out where everything's laid out in the program and using this to actually access them and hitting the separate buttons. We can go on and access all these buttons at the top. Let's just jump into the correct workbench. Access all these buttons at the top, because as you can see, when I actually clicked on one of these buttons, nothing actually happened down in here. So if I click on that, you can see that nothing's actually happened down here. I know I've got error because I haven't actually selected anything. Let's hit escape. So we could go and find that toolbar item if we so desire. And I should imagine they're push buttons. And that will be up by the main window. So main window.freecad. Jump in here. Let's ram out that. Just ram out the whole of this. Should be able to get to that. So buttons equals main window. So we've gone right up to the top level. Dot find children. And we want to find all the Gui push buttons and output them to the screen. That's Q push button, so let's clear this and run that. So we should see all the Q push buttons in there. Face color apply button. There weren't many. So what are they? What are they? They are Q tool button. Let's have a look at that one. That's looking a bit more interesting. See, we've got these down here. That means we've run out of buffer space. So we've got the previous buttons that we used before, and here's all the tool buttons. So can't find anything in there because we need to actually go through these. So for be in buttons, @console print message B, and we'll surround that with a str to make that a string plus a new line character on the end. Clear this out. Run that. Quite a few in there. See if we can actually get the names. So str button, and I want the name out of this, so the object name. So let's see if we can find that. So b dot object name, and I'm just going to add that to the end of that, and on here we'll add the new line character. Clear this out. Get no object names. There's a lot of buttons there, so one of those must be the one we want. Let's try text. Text, here we go. Hatch a face using an image file, apply geometry hatch to a face, insert SVG symbol. That sounds like, that's not the one we want. That's because we've gone to the top level, we've got literally everything. So from every workbench, I'm guessing, in here. Or have we? Chamfer draft thickness, that's part design. Yeah, we've got everything there. So we will need to actually jump into the toolbars to find those out. So let's have a look. Tab bar, tool button, menu bar, toolbar, Q toolbar. And it won't have a text, will it? No attribute text, so we can get rid of that. Let's just run that out and put the new line character back in. There we go. So text draw, clips, text draw, dimensions, lots of text draw, a lot of part design. So what we'd have to do is actually enter the toolbar that we want. Which is path. Is there a path there? Path modifications. Do I get a hint when I roll over this? No. There's new operations, which could be it. Tool commands, project setup, draft tray, navigation structure. Because these are operations in here, so let's grab the new operation one. So I'm going to go tool bar main window, find child toolbar, and then grab the pocket. No, that's not right. New operations. Why did it come out pocket? New operations. So grab that one. I'm going to find all of the buttons in that. So for B in toolbar dot children, and it was the QTool button. Okay, clear that out, and what we should have, and then what we should have, we can actually add the text back in. Pocket shape, edge profile, face profile, contour. So this is looking correct. Yes, this is the one. So I want, what was I clicking on when so I clicked on that, and I wanted this one here, create a path pocket object. And we'll take that out so we can actually see it on the end. Run that, that's better. 2H profile ones, that's interesting. Pocket shape, face. Oh no, so face profile, edge profile, pocket shape, which is the one that I want. So because these can move about, so I've got contour, profile, edge profile. You can actually move these about, so it's be quite dangerous to actually give an index in here. So what I'm going to do is come in here and saying that if b.text equals, and then the pocket shape, so that one there, so it equals the pocket shape, and then we're going to actually do something in here. So I just ran that now, we should just get the 1, which is correct, and I'm going to assign that button in there. So come in here, I go pocket button, and we will equal that to none at the moment because we don't want to actually assign that, we just want to reserve it. So in here I'm going to, if b.text equals pocket shape, we've got it, so I'm going to say pocket button equals b, and I don't want to go round and round anymore, so I'm just going to break out of here. That'll break me out, and we should have, for any luck, get rid of those. Let's change this to the pocket button. So pocket button and pocket button.text, so we should have that now. So there it is, pocket shape, and we should be able to click on it. So pocket button dot click, open close bracket, nothing's set yet, so if we hit it, there we go. So we've gone from clicking the button all the way down to accepting those values. So let's give that a go. Straight selected, run the macro, and the operation, we've got second operation in there, so let's just get rid of those operations. Selected, run the macro, and we've got the pocket shape, and we should have the, gives itself a bit of space, zigzag 10, 50, checked, so that's all good. So that was a bit of experimentation there. So wherever we come across a workbench we can't make macros for, we can actually go through this method. Took a little bit of getting there, but that was actually a bit of experimentation for me to actually go down that route, to actually go and find it. But you can actually see the actual full process of actually getting to that point of trying to find a way of doing something and just experimenting in there and figuring out what to do, and you get to this point and get something usable. So I'm going to probably carry on with that and probably edit that a bit to my needs, and I'll see you again soon.